Osman Grov says, what do you think about AI and utilizing it in your work/art? Well, it's out there, and it's interesting. My partner is totally obsessed with AI. She talks to Pi every day and asks all sorts of questions and is really curious about the space, as am I. It's a fascinating moment. Are we witnessing an evolution of human creativity or a different kind, or are we about to witness Skynet and we're all lunch for the robots or grease for their wheels? I actually don't have an answer to that. I am both excited and a little spooked. I have not done much with ChatGPT. I did ask it to write something in my voice, and it grabbed a couple of my verbal cadences, like, I gotta be honest with you here, which I don't say, but I see why they thought I might say something like that. I'm here to tell you, they definitely grabbed that one. And then here's the best part. Yeah, it did a bunch of, that was fun. That was fun to try. Right now, I don't have a place in my process I see a burning need for it. I do, yeah. That's not to say never. And like I said, I am very curious about the space. Absolutely. Especially like Mid-Journey and the visual stuff. That's fascinating. I have this theory. That what makes all human endeavors interesting is a point of view. And I define making as any time that you reach out into the world and use your point of view to make something from nothing. So to me, everything about being a person redounds to your unique point of view. And when you share that unique point of view, that's culture. That's us talking about what the shape of the world is and helping each other figure it out. And we do that verbally. We do that through writing. We do that through interview. We do that through reality television, fictional television, books, magazines, everything. All of that is our conversation about how to survive and about how the universe works. And so I watched the Secret Invasion opener, which is made with AI, and I thought to myself, yeah, some of these ideas are visually compelling, and I'm not sure I feel a point of view in there. So my theory is I actually have a hard time imagining. So let me give the most stark example of a point of view. Any Banksy art. Banksy has a point of view on the world. It rings like a bell. It infuses everything that Banksy does. I'm not even going to say he, because I'm not sure Banksy is, I have no idea what Banksy's gender is. But Banksy has a point of view, and it's what makes that work beautiful. The work itself is graphically specific and bounded, but it's the point of view that takes you on the journey of that piece of art. And I have a hard time imagining AI in any kind of deep creative exercise faking a point of view. But I could be totally wrong. I haven't seen an example that proves my point or is contrary to it. But that's my theory about AI, is that it will fall down when it comes to that kind of thing. Oftentimes, there are directors who have a huge hit, and then they get their passion project as their next film, and it's not nearly as good. And it's not nearly as good because oftentimes for me, I'll find that if I see somebody's work who's really amazing and it made a ton of money, so they got absolute creative freedom, the next project sometimes feels like crap to me. And I've often thought to myself that it's about the script. The script, it doesn't earn the same points as the script for the film that made them famous. It doesn't have the same stakes. The beats are all there. I've seen so many scripts in which the beats are all there, but all the jokes are like first draft script jokes. And I think about writing as like, you can get the structure right and the narrative, not the narrative, you can get the structure of the narrative right, but it still might not involve you because the pieces of it haven't resonated. And so when you have to fight for the ideas in a script. Frankly, I think the studio system, while creators will constantly complain about having masters, having to fight for your ideas makes your ideas better, ultimately. And I think some of the greatest films in the world have been made under the most egregious duress. Godfather. Go ask Francis Coppola what he thought about making Godfather. He said on stage in an interview with me, I would say there are highs and lows, but there were no highs. It was lows and lowers. And he hated every second of making that movie. But boy, does it have a really specific point of view, and boy, does that come out. And I feel like part of that is because he had to fight for it. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there, but this is just a theory that I work with to help me shape the world around me. Lee Marsh just gifted more memberships. Drillbit's Workshop donated $10. Drillbit's Workshop asks a question that is a very reasonable question to finish on. What advice would you give to someone who loves making, but doesn't have a place to go to express their love for it, or people to talk to about it? Drillbit's Workshop, I'm sorry that you don't have a place that you can go do it, or people that you can exult with about it. I am really sorry about that, because that's a lonely place to be. I will say a couple of things. You sent me this message over the internet, and in my opinion, while it is a cesspool of misogyny and death cults, the internet is also a magical place where people can find their weird sangha, their people. I had dinner with someone on a cruise. I had dinner on this cruise that I just went on, and I was wearing a baseball cap the whole time. And so I was mostly anonymous, and I had this lovely dinner with a couple who never figured out who I was. It was great. I was a civilian for the first time in a long time. And we were talking about finding your people. And one member of this couple had knitted so much over COVID, they started selling their knit hats at local flea markets. And a person came up to them at a flea market and said, "Would you like to come to my knitting retreat?" And they said, "Yes, I would." And their husband was like, "Are you crazy? You only just met this person. You're going to go away with them?" And she's like, "I just have a feeling." And she went away for this retreat for knitting and found her people. And she talked about how it changed her life. So you sent me this thing on the internet, and I'm here to say that is a fantastic tool for finding people to exult about the weird shit that you can't stop thinking about. And that, in my opinion, finding people to exult with about the stuff you make. I've been making stuff for over 40 years. We've been working on this gig here at Tested, which is some model making. So we've had Kate Sabaker and Mel Ho and some Sean Charlesworth and other folks over there building stuff all the time. And I am constantly running back and forth, showing off what I'm making and exult. Oh, and even over here, I hear people in the next room. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at, it's so exciting to share. I really hear you about the loneliness of not having someone to share it with. And I want to advise to try and find that on the internet. I hope you live in a place where maybe there's a municipality that has a makerspace. Makerspaces are great places to go to find that same kind of sangha. I'm using the Buddhist word for the group that gives you succor, the group of your people, And I think that is a wonderful place to finish. I feel deeply that I am among my people, both here in the world and here online with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a Tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.